Alright, welcome back to Harvest Moon Farm. My name is Mickey if this is your first time visiting my channel, and today I'm just going to show you what we're having for dinner tonight as part of my $20 weekly grocery budget. I did not actually purchase anything for this meal. This is all things that we had in our house. I'm going to grill up some pork chops. I got a jar of home canned potatoes and some green beans. I might put together a salad. I haven't decided yet. The marinade, so I made a marinade up this morning and I had the pork chops in it all day. And this marinade, we used a teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of oregano, a third of a cup of olive oil, and then a quarter cup each of lemon juice and soy sauce. And then, because I apparently can't just follow a regular recipe to the letter, I also added some honey because I thought that sounded delicious. So got the pork chops still marinating. I'm going to take them out and let them come up to room temperature before we grill them, and then while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get the potatoes started. Here's our marinade. I just put everything directly into this bag and then put the pork chops in and just kind of smushed it all around. We're going to let that warm up just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and drain the liquid off this, and then I'm going to cut them in smaller pieces. They're pretty big. I'm going to oven brown these. So I'm just going to put some foil on this cookie sheet, and I'll put the potatoes on there along with some butter and salt and pepper. A little pepper. And then I've got the oven preheating now. I've got it at 400, and so once it's hot, I'll go ahead and stick these in. All right, we are going to have a fruit crisp for dessert today. So these are peaches that I canned, that I got last year from our local orchard. So I'm going to use those to make our crisp. And these are the best peaches I have ever had. If you are in the Kansas City area in the fall, I would definitely recommend that you either hit a farmer's market around here or you go to Sunflower Orchard. These, like I said, these are just amazing. So we're just going to mix up a basic crisp topping recipe. And we need a cup and a quarter of oats. I'm going to add a cup and a half of flour. And then the next thing is brown sugar. I'm going to use my Splenda that's half Splenda, half brown sugar, so that it's not got quite so much real sugar in it. And we need, oh, my page flipped on me. Let's see, what do we need? Okay, 1 cup of brown sugar. And you should pack brown sugar, and I can't get this cup measure in here, so I'm just gonna get a little more than a cup because that'll be a packed cup. We're gonna add a teaspoon of salt. And then I want a cup of butter. Now, this recipe that I'm following, or that I'm looking at, has you use cold butter and cut it into this mixture. I'm actually gonna melt my butter and stir it in. While that's melting, I'm just gonna go ahead and stir up the flour and oats and sugar and salt. And then I'm just gonna pour the butter, melted butter in here and stir that in. And then we'll put it over our peaches. Oops. All right, so I'm just gonna pour this mixture over the peaches or whatever fruit you want to use, or spill it on the counter, whichever. And try and break some of these clumps up. All right, and then once our potatoes are done, we're going to put this in a 350-degree oven for about 40 to 45 minutes until our top is all nice and bubbly. All right, pork chops are done. Potatoes are done, so we'll go ahead and get some of those. Alrighty, got some green beans here. And I baked a fresh loaf of sourdough this morning. It is about 2/3 just regular all-purpose flour, and the other third is a dark rye. So I'm really curious to see how this is gonna look. Smelled amazing while it was baking. Yummy. Want some bread? Yeah. All right, and so I just put the peach crisp in the oven. We're gonna let that bake 45-ish minutes, and then I'll give you guys a peek into what that looks like. I did try just a little bit of this marinade. I tried a piece of meat with marinade on it. Oh, the honey was a great addition. So the potatoes didn't get as crispy as I would have liked, but I just couldn't stand the thought of standing over a frying pan, cooking them, having grease splatter all over me in this heat. So they'll still be good this way, just not as crispy as I liked. Yummy. So our crisp is done. And I should let it cool for a little bit, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna get me some right now. Actually, I really need to probably put another jar of peaches in here, but that's okay. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. If we had some homemade vanilla ice cream to put on top of it, that would be perfect. We don't. So I'll just have to eat it like this. Darn. Let's take a little bite. If I can get a bite that's not too incredibly hot. Really good. All right, welcome back everybody. It has been about 2 weeks since I filmed the first piece of this video. We have spent the last couple weekends putting up our pool, doing some things outside, so I didn't have a chance really to get anything filmed. So today I am going to make some breakfast sandwiches for my husband, and I'm gonna get the rest of last year's garlic all broken up and peeled and then in the freezer. This year's garlic it's about ready to harvest, and we'll let it dry for a few days, and then I will put it downstairs where I stored the garlic last year. So we've got a bunch of silky eggs that are not really, they're not really good for a whole bunch because they're so small. But I'm gonna wash all of these, and I'm gonna use some of these today for making the breakfast sandwiches. And then the rest will be washed, and I'll just put them in the fridge for whatever else we decide to do. Some of these aren't too bad. Some of them are really disgusting. Oh, and broken. Some of them are really disgusting from the rain we've had. So I decided, instead of just freezing them whole, I'm going to go ahead and make some more garlic pucks. So as I get these peeled, I'm just going to throw them in my little food processor. Oh my God. As I get these peeled, I'm just going to throw them in my food processor. And some of these may not be, oh yeah, they're still fine. Okay. I almost waited too long on these. Some of them are getting a little soft. And I know there are lots of ways that you can supposedly make this easier. I've seen people put them in a jar and shake them. I haven't really had good luck with that. If you guys have any tips for the best way to peel garlic, go ahead and throw them in the comments. This is why it's nice to have either the garlic pucks or the pre-peeled pieces of garlic, the garlic cloves in the freezer, because then you don't have to mess with this every time you want to use it. So you guys, today is June 30th. I cannot believe that we are about in July. It seems crazy. This year is just flying. So we got our first batch of meat chickens. I ordered 50, I got 46, whatever, that's fine. My husband built a new chicken tractor hoop coop thing for them, and we've been waiting on the chick wheels to come, or the chick wheel. So we ordered a chick wheel for it, I don't know, 6 or 7 weeks ago, and they have been so crazy busy with orders this year that we just got it a few days ago. So, which actually it's good timing. I think Joe put it on this morning, and we're gonna get those birds out in our yard hopefully today. So it's been about 3 weeks, I think, since I got them, and 2 weeks. They're feathered out anyway, so they can go outside now. So we'll be processing those late August, I think, which is a terrible time, but it is what it is. I didn't plan forward very well when I ordered them. Because we can't handle more than 50 at once with the current space that we have in terms of coops. So I usually do 2 orders of 50. We might do 3 this year depending on how much the kids want. Okay, last year I put oil, some olive oil in here. This year I'm not going to. I'm going to, if I can remember how to get this lid on. Oh my goodness, I never can remember. Shoot, come on. Oh. Oh, it helps if I plug it in. See if that works better. Oh, smells so good. Love garlic. Okay, all I'm gonna do now is take my little cookie scoop. I'm using the small one. I think this is a 1 inch, 3/4 inch, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna use this one and I'm just gonna get little scoops, and if they kind of fall apart, it doesn't really matter. And I'm just gonna put them on this cookie tray. I've got some parchment paper on there. I have some like silicone molds, which I was just thinking maybe I would use that, but I already have this started. I'm gonna do this. Ooh, that's too big. 1 scoop ends up being about the equivalent of maybe a teaspoon. I don't know, my scoops are kind of big, of garlic, but I usually add more garlic than the recipe calls for anyway, so these will be fine. All right, there we go. Squeeze some of these together a little bit, the ones that are kind of falling apart. Ooh, maybe it's going to stick to my finger. All right, well, it is what it is. All right, so these are going to go downstairs to the basement freezers. Once these little pucks are frozen solid, I'll just pop them into a Ziploc bag and throw them in the freezer. So I will be right back. All right, before I start the breakfast sandwiches, I started some bread dough last night. I'm gonna go ahead and get that in the oven. Well, the first loaf anyway. One of these days I want to try some fancy designs on my bread. Today is not that day. I'm just going to do what I always do. And that'll be it. Put this in the oven. So I normally do my sourdough at a 1-1-1 hydration. I read something, I think I was on Facebook, I don't know, I wish I could remember, that they use a 1-3-2 hydration. So 1 part starter, 3 parts flour, 2 parts water. So I've tried that and I feel like it's been a lot more active. So we'll see how these loaves turn out. Hopefully they are as good as they seem like they're gonna be. All right, so these are gonna be pretty simple breakfast sandwiches. I think we are completely, well, I think we're almost out of the breakfast sausage that we had when we purchased our hog last year, but I didn't thaw any, so. But he said eggs and cheese and whatever, it was fine. So there we go. So I'm going to use these little silky eggs, as I said, because this will give us a way to use them. I'm going to break them in this bowl first because I just want to be sure before I put them in the bowl that I'm going to mix all the eggs in. So for these, I did go ahead and buy the tortillas. I bought 2 packs of the, of these Walmart soft taco tortillas. These are the, what size are these? I don't know. The mediums. I did also buy some, I had to buy more cheese. The tortillas I think were like $1.83 a piece. The cheese was the most expensive, obviously. I did buy some gigantic jalapenos that I was going to cut up and put in there, but he ate them all before I had a chance to do this. So I'm going to use these peppers that came out of our garden. These are banana peppers. I don't know what the heat level is on these. So I've got 20 tortillas, and then just like I've done before, we'll once these are all done, I'll wrap them up, put them in a freezer bag, and then he can grab 1 or 2 or whatever he wants out, let them thaw, and then he can eat them on the way to work. He's been eating sourdough every morning with this coffee, and he loves that, but he needs a little protein to make it through his day, so I want to make sure that he's eating. So we do have a silky rooster, and I don't know if he just doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing, which seems weird, or I don't know what, but we have not had any successful fertilized eggs from the silkies, which was the whole reason in getting silkies to begin with. Okay, I'm going to start with those, and if I need more, I can get some. So I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. I'm just going to whisk these up with a fork. These don't smell very hot. They smell, that one doesn't smell like anything. That one smells like it might have a little heat. I'm not going to taste it because I'm a wimp. And I don't like really spicy things. And of course now my eye itches, right? Always when you shouldn't be touching your eye, that's when it starts bothering you. All right, so I am going to just cook up these eggs, and then we will have everything laid out here to put these together. I'll go ahead and get the foil, the little foil sheets that I use. I wish, you guys know what I'm going to say, I wish I had a gas stove, because then I could toast these up a little bit before I put the filling in, but that's okay. He will still eat them. So I might have enough to get through today's stuff. Get these cooked up. Okay, eggs are done. So all I'm going to do is just, I'm going to do it this way. Ow. Eggs, cheese, peppers, and then I'm just going to roll it up and then roll it up in the foil. There we go. I think I probably am going to have to cook some more of those eggs, which is fine. So we have a bajillion eggs. It's not really very much of an exaggeration. If anybody is in the Kansas City area and wants eggs, please reach out and let me know. You can email me, you can message me on this page. If you have my phone number, you can call or text, whatever, that's fine. Just let me know. Not going to deliver, but I will get them to you. So just reach out if you want some. Oh, I just tore this one. Shoot. Oh well. So I said I'm not going to deliver, but I am willing to meet people somewhere that works for both of us. There's a lot of ground between here and my job location, so I am willing to meet people. So all I'm going to do now, I'm just going to keep filling these until I run out of eggs, and I'm going to make some more eggs. But I'll just keep filling them until I've gotten through, I don't know, at least one of these packages. Maybe both of them, kind of just depends. And then they'll be all wrapped up and they will just go into the freezer and Joe can grab them as he needs or wants. Oh, darn it, filling's falling out. Okay, I'm gonna have to make some more eggs, so I'm just gonna keep working on these until they're all full, and then we'll come back and see how many we've got. All right, there's the first package. We can do with the second one, maybe. Oh, darn. All right, let me see. I might have some more of those. All right, I had almost a whole box here. Oh, but these are a lot smaller. Okay. Okay. So I used all those little silky eggs that I washed this morning. We have a million in the refrigerator downstairs, but all right. So, whoa. I'm just gonna put these back in here, and you might not be able to get 10 in here, but I can get several. Let's see. And I'll just put the rest in this empty cheese bag. And all these will go in the freezer. And now he has 20 breakfast burritos for the next few weeks or a couple weeks or however long it takes him to eat them. There we go. Okay, so the first loaf of bread is done. It looks amazing. And I think I did get a little more rise on this than I've been getting on my others. All right, and again, I'm gonna make a super amazing slash on this bread. Ta-da. And back in the oven, or into the oven, this one goes. Okay, so that's gonna do it for today. I honestly can't remember what the first piece of this video was since it's been a couple weeks since I did it. But we've got breakfast sandwiches for Joe. We've got our bread. We used up a bunch of our eggs. We used up some of our peppers. I've been trying to think of other ways to use up some eggs since we have so many. I think I might make some pasta maybe on the next video. We'll see. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, you might consider subscribing. That way you always know when my next video is uploaded and ready for you to watch. So I will see you guys on the next video. And if I don't see you before then, I hope you have a great 4th of July. Bye guys.